PlayStation 5, for some reason, it's getting bombarded lately with a lot of FUD, which stands for fear, uncertainty, doubt, like in the different forums, on the gaming sites, on Discord, and different places like that. For some reason, people are kind of actively taking an approach to attack the capabilities of the PlayStation 5. Now, of course, this isn't unusual. I think more or less it was something that mostly just happened to Xbox last generation with the debacle with how they started, their generation. The TV, the DRM, the no used games, the Kinect forced on you, the $100 more expensive, but it was a less powerful machine. All this kind of stuff, Kinect focused in general, that stuff really hurt Microsoft, and a lot of the stuff that was talked about Xbox was legitimately stuff that was bad. Now we're getting some incredible information that debunks a lot of this PlayStation 5 FUD, and I'm excited to talk about it. Hey, what's up everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for joining me. Please take a minute and consider subscribing, and like and share if you can. Hit the bell so you're notified of everything as soon as it comes out. A big thank you to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. You are very much appreciated. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, watching my videos. I appreciate it. It means the world to me. So, with that being said, listen, a lot of times these companies kind of shoot themselves in the foot, and that's, disappointing. Like, what would Xbox One have done if they didn't shoot themselves in the foot so poorly to begin last generation? Would things been much more even? I don't know how much more even they would have been. They still would have had to deal with some stuff, but I think they probably would have did better than what they actually did. They were kind of a joke for most of the generation, and people still believe that you couldn't buy used games and things like that. Even up until recently, I wouldn't be surprised if some people still kind of believe that. Now, when it comes to PlayStation, there's obviously been lots of rumors and things like that PlayStation has trouble doing, 4K with 60 frames and, things like ray tracing. And here's the thing. People go, well, is that true? Listen, is that true? I don't think so. I think that the PlayStation 5 can do 4K, but I think that they're going about things a little bit differently, and I talked about this in another video. Now, I'm by no means a tech expert, okay? But what I have been doing lately is to be able to better relay technical stuff to you guys. I'm learning this stuff myself, and I'm hopefully teaching you guys a little bit about it as well. So I did a video on this not too long ago. There's something called DLSS machine learning, which basically takes a 1440p image and it makes it look better than a native 4K image. And the reason why they allow this to happen is because then you can fully take a game that's 1440p, have it look native 4K, and you can still do 60 frames and ray tracing without it taking a big hindrance on your CPU and GPU. So that's the best way to kind of explain it. So will it do native 4K games? I'm sure it'll do some native 4K games, but are they going to be utilizing a lot of stuff like checkerboarding and DLSS and using this kind of stuff? Absolutely, because that's probably fundamentally the better way for them to go about it. It's maybe overkill the way Microsoft is doing it, because Microsoft also has, machine learning and things like that. So they can kind of brute force it and get 4K, and they might have, a slightly better pixel here or there. But at the end of the day, even Digital Foundry has said, we got to stop with the pixel counting, because it's not going to be an accurate way to do things next generation. And I really do, and I stick by this. As an Xbox fan, this entire generation, it did suck when you kept hearing 1080p versus 720p, 720p, 900p, right? You kept on hearing these odd, awkward resolutions, and I think Xbox fans deep down just sort of want, that payback. They want Xbox to have the higher resolution and for resolution to matter. The fact is, though, things changed, and it's not really something that's really happening anymore. Like the resolution honestly just doesn't matter the way that it did, and I think that people are having a hard time kind of dealing with that. A lot of people were wondering sort of what's going on with the PlayStation 5. There was a pretty big leak that actually came out, and this is regarding the PlayStation 5 and what it can do, because a lot of people, were saying that the PlayStation 5 was overheating, and that's why we haven't seen anything. And, for me personally, I always thought that was kind of a weird argument, because they're saying the PlayStation 5 is overheating and it can't run things properly, but then when you look at it, we've seen games actually running on the PlayStation 5, and I think that that's a huge element to those things being false. Obviously, we've seen the tech demo for Unreal Engine 5 running on it, no problems. So we've seen all these different things, all these different types of situations where, it's obvious that the PS5 is a really good machine. And then we also have the situation where this comes out, right? People go, oh, well, it's going to be loud and it's a big design and all this kind of stuff. Sony has just released a new patent detailing their cooling system. Whew! And I tell you what, this is something that they actually filed back in 2019, but it only unlocked this week, meaning this is the real deal, folks. This is what we're dealing with. And again, if you're new to my channel, any news story like this, I link in the description below. If it's an opinion piece, I don't need to link that as it's my opinion. Although if I'm kind of bringing in facts to it, I will link that. Now, if it's something like a leak or a rumor, then I will also link it if I can, because a lot of sites run with that stuff. But it's something somebody told me in private or whatever. Obviously, I can't divulge that. Then I won't be able to do that. So, but anyway, this is very interesting because a lot of us were wondering how they're going to keep this console cool, right? It seems very compact compared to the Xbox Series X and things like that. Here's what it says. The amount of heat generated by the semiconductor chip increases. It becomes difficult to sufficiently cool the semiconductor chip due to the thermal resistance of the grease. In a semiconductor device of patent number 2, this is the interesting part. Instead of grease, a metal that is liquefied by heat during operation of the semiconductor chip is used as a heat conductive material between the semiconductor chip and the radiator. So, what does this mean? It means that this is what? You can guess it. That's right. That means that this is liquid metal cooling. Wow. Can you believe that? Liquid metal cooling in the PlayStation 5. Like such a thing in a console, absolutely unheard of. So, in a structure in which a fluid metal is used as a heat conductive material in order to sufficiently exert cooling performance. It is possible to limit range in which the heat conductive material spreads even when the semiconductor device changes its posture or vibrates. So basically, they're using liquid metal cooling for the PlayStation 5, and there's all kinds of diagrams of the PlayStation 5 like utilizing this and stuff like that. I really do think that this is going to be an incredible feature for the PlayStation 5. I just personally think that it's one of those things where Sony, they got this stuff right. And like I said before, if you're going to hang your hat on 4K and true 4K, just like Microsoft wanted people to do, listen, I was one of those people. True 4K, Xbox One X, right? But did we get true 4K sometimes? Did it really matter? Most of the time, not. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 being one that stuck out. But other than that, it's really hard to kind of say what exactly advantage there was of that. And when you look at some stuff, like we can look at Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil remake, I think 2 or 3, both of those were 1600p and 60 frames on the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. The interesting thing was, originally it was true 4K on the Xbox One X, but it ran terribly, so they had to knock it back to 1600p. So again, games still look great, played great on both, exactly equal on both pretty much, but yet the true 4K ended up not being important. And again, you have a game like Gears of War 5, not true 4K, even though they were touting, hey, true 4K on everything, no compromises, and that game got beat out in terms of graphical fidelity at the end of the year from Digital Foundry by Death Stranding, and Horizon Zero Dawn, again, that utilized checkerboarding and things like that, but still managed to beat out all the Xbox games. So I really think like Sony has a really good handle on it and how to use their hardware. Do I think we're going to see some truth to the fact that some stuff might not be 4K natively? Absolutely. That's going to be the same on the Xbox Series X as well. It's really like, you don't have to be a genius to kind of guess that. So for me personally, I just feel like Sony have done a really good job of making a really well-rounded console. Is it going to be just a 4K machine? No, of course not. Is it going to be, is it going to have 4K? Yes. Is it going to have 120 frame games? Sure. I don't think there's a huge demand for that on consoles. I don't think there's a bunch of TVs out there, realistically, that are going to be able to showcase that. But I do think there are going to be some games out there that do it. So again, this stuff really proves that Sony knew what they're doing. Again, some of this stuff sounds kind of expensive. Could be one of the reasons we haven't got official prices yet. I really, really hope that these aren't $599. Like, I feel like they would be worth it, but I also feel like it would be just absolutely detrimental to the growth of the games industry and consoles and the success of consoles, and I don't want to see those price points. Whether you're an Xbox fan, a PlayStation fan, or just a gaming fan, trust me when I say $599 price points would be a death blow to the industry. And again, coming off of what's going on in the world right now, we don't want to see that. You know, we want to see competitive pricing and not go back and repeat the PS3 fiasco. So hopefully that's something that, you know, Microsoft and Sony are well prepared for. I will link this stuff in the description. You guys can check it out. Thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to check out another one of my videos. It means the world to me. If you would like, share, subscribe. Everything's unscripted. I'm very passionate about gaming. Hopefully that comes across. Hopefully you can learn a little something, and hopefully you have some fun. I try to be as entertaining as possible. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Have a great day. Game on, everybody. Game on. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.